Tragedy in Jos. A school building collapses, killing many, injuring scores. Court grants former Minister of Power, Sale Marman, 10 billion naira bail. Olakulehin officially crowned 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land. On the foreign scene, Kenya youth demand Ruto's resignation, meal fresh protest. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news updates. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thanks for joining us. We start on a very sad note. A secondary school building has collapsed in Plateau State, killing at least 12 persons and leaving dozens of others injured. Activities at Saints Academy and its immediate environment in Busa-Buji, Jos North, were disrupted on Friday morning when the school's two-story building caved in on students and their teachers. Witnesses said the collapse trapped more than 70 pupils, transforming a peaceful and educational environment into a scene of chaos. Panicked and desperate residents quickly descended on the scene to provide help as screams for help rent the air. They were joined by emergency workers to battle the rubble to rescue those trapped underneath. So far, 12 people have been pulled out dead, while dozens of others injured in the collapse have been rushed to nearby hospitals. Some of those who have been rushed to the hospitals are in urgent need of blood transfusions as the hospitals battle to treat them. Emergency workers, supported by volunteers, security personnel and members of the Red Cross, are using excavators to rescue pupils still trapped under the rubble. Quite a sad one there. An unspecified number of corps members deployed to Ekiti State have been injured following the collapse of the hostel wall of the National Youth Service Corps NYC orientation camp in Ishe-Mure, Ekiti. Eyewitnesses in the camp said the affected hostel was the feminine section which caved in on Friday morning. An official of the NYSC who confirmed the incident said only 2 corps members were affected and have been stabilized at the camp's clinic. He called on parents, guardians and stakeholders not to panic over the incident, adding that it had no serious negative impact on the corps members. The corps members are currently in camp for the 3 weeks compulsory orientation camp for those posted to the state. Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court Abuja has granted the former Minister of Power, Sale Marman, bail to the tune of 10 billion naira and 2 sureties in like sum. Marman was arraigned on 12 counts bordering on conspiracy to commit money laundering and possession and use of known proceeds of criminal conduct. While ruling on a bail application by the defendant, Justice Omotosho held that the sureties must own properties in Abuja with a minimum value rate of 750 million naira. The court also held that sureties must submit certified land document to the court with a 3-year tax levy. It ruled that the defendants shall submit bank statements and international passports to the court. In the alternative, the court held that the defendants can produce a bank guarantee of the said amount and that if that is provided, no surety is needed. The court subsequently adjourned the case to September 25, 2024 for the commencement of trial. The development comes after Justice Omotosho on Thursday ordered that Marman be remanded in Kuje prison in Abuja pending the consideration of his bail application. The Nigerian Army has handed over 277 civilians to the Borno State government after being rescued from Boko Haram terrorists during its operations in Sambisa Forest and the Chad Basin area. The victims, according to the troops, were rescued in Dikwa, Bama and Mungunu local governments. The Deputy Theatre Commander of Joint Task Force Northeast under Operation Hadinkai, Major General Ken Chibo, also appealed to terrorists bearing arms against the Nigerian state to surrender and embrace peace, saying the army is not interested in prolonging the fight, as it wished the resources be channeled into the development of the Northeast region. He noted the military objective is to restore normalcy and socio-economic activities in the region with its kinetic and non-kinetic operations.
The Nigerian military is not interested in this fight. We consider them our brothers and sisters. We want peace to reign. So the earlier they come out, the better for us. All the funds used in prosecuting this fight can be channeled to other developmental process and opportunities for the betterment of the state and the people in general.
We are taking them to Bulunkutu Interim Care Center, where we provide them with services like mental health and psychosocial support, case management, educational services for the children, and family tracing and identification for the unaccompanied and separated children.
The Nigerian Army has arrested 21 suspects, recovered 10 boats, 5 vehicles and motorcycles as it continued its raid on illegal oil refineries in Okwa West local government area of Abia State. Thursday's operation at Uboako and Imo River waterside in Ipu town is coming within 1 month of its crackdown on the illegal oil refinery in Uboako and neighboring Isimini waterside. The Army had, during the first 2 operations, arrested about 20 suspects and recovered 16 boats. The General Officer commanding GOC 82 Division, Major General Hassan Dada, led the joint military exercise against oil bunkering in the state under Operation Udoka. The troop destroyed several oil storage tanks, crude oil and illegally refined petroleum products during Thursday's operation. The GOC, while addressing newsmen at the creek, lamented the negative impact of the activities of oil vandals on the country's economy. He vowed not to give oil vandals and economic saboteurs any breeding ground in any state within the division. Supporting and nurturing homegrown solutions in the health sector, especially in research institutes at the state, land, national levels, have been identified as key factors in achieving a society that is free from diseases, especially infectious diseases. Some residents of Lagos who stated this while speaking with Trust TV also advocated increased investment in the health sector. Here's a report.
Health has a significant impact on every aspect of human life. Investing in the healthcare system will enhance national development and economic prosperity. To control diseases in the nation, particularly infectious and pandemic diseases, the government needs to focus more on homegrown solutions to address the health challenges in the country. This is the view of some residents of Lagos State.
The public must necessarily seek knowledge about how to prevent that disease, what they can do as individuals. And I think the major thing to do is to keep very good hygiene, from washing hands and cleaning, making the environment very clean to ensure that disease spread is reduced.
Speaking with Lagos residents, they also aired their views on disease control, the need for government to support in providing necessary facilities and manpower for the health system. They lamented the poor state of health facilities, which has caused many researchers and health professionals to leave the country.
If your environment clean, if my environment clean, it's very hard for disease to take place. For government they have to put some facilities in the hospital so that any disease and medication, so that any disease that they carry go there, they can be able to cure them or can be able to help them.
The government is supposed to import medicine to Nigeria so that when the doctor, they have patients, they should be able to treat them very well. There should not be lack of medicine.
They're supposed to get public toilets. One, isn't it? When they get public toilets, then they have to take care of all the people in the area by giving them facilities that it will help them to be okay in any circumstance.
I feel if the government wants to control any diseases in the country, they should help in putting more funds and equipment in our health facilities. We need more equipment and more professionals in the health facilities.
Stakeholders say Nigeria needs its own research funding agencies to support the health system and provide funding for health researchers. With such support funding, researchers will be able to develop homegrown solutions for controlling diseases, particularly infectious and pandemic diseases.
The Katsina State government is taking a bold step towards modernizing its educational landscape. As part of this effort, the state governor, Dikko Radda, declared open a new program aimed at equipping 10,000 newly recruited teachers with the latest teaching methods and technologies. Jamil Mabai has more.
In a move to modernize its educational system, the Katsina State government has announced the launch of a new initiative aimed at equipping 10,000 newly recruited teachers with 21st century teaching methodologies.
Shaping the destiny of a society.
This is part of the governor's wider focus on improving the quality of education in the state.
Training is one of the major things that we promise the people of Katsina State will deploy to teachers. And so far so good. We have trained a number of thousands of teachers in the last 1 year, and today we are flagging up the training of 10,000 teachers again. I believe before the end of our tenure, we'll be able to train all the Katsina State teachers, because without training the teachers and without improving the condition of the teachers, there is no way you can improve education in the state.
The core objective of this program is to integrate a digital approach into everyday teaching practices by equipping teachers with modern ICT tools and training them in effective 21st century methodologies.
But we are teacher trainers. We are being trained so that we can go and scale down the training to primary school teachers, with the hope that they will teach in a way that is relevant to the present time. Knowledge is changing, and how knowledge is delivered to learners is also changing. So the purpose of the training is to acquaint teachers with methodologies that are relevant in the 21st century.
Experts believe that this is a significant development for Katsina educational landscape.
Because I can tell you for a fact that going by statistics, what we are seeing today is that the impact of this World Bank project, in partnership with what the state government is doing with its zeal to actually ensure that there's a target objective of having a renowned and a sustainable number of students who get quality education, is on the rise. I think if we are able to step down this advanced method of learning, Katsina State will go rise above any other state in the country.
Jamil Mabai, Trust TV, Katsina.
Owolabi Akinloye Olakunlehin has been crowned as the 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land. He was crowned at the Labosinde compound, the family whose right is to crown any Olubadan of Ibadan land. The ceremony took place on Friday. It was guarded that immediately after the crowning, the new Olubadan moved to Ile Osemeji at Oja, Oba area. Ile Osemeji is regarded as the place where the divination on the future of Ibadan was revealed. The new Olubadan is expected to move from Ile Osemeji to the frontage of Mapo Hall. He is also expected to receive the staff of office and other instruments of office from the state governor, Sheyi Makinde. To more stories, Vice President Kashim Shettima has stressed the need for improved data collection, analysis and deployment of technology to generate comprehensive and inclusive evidence to guide government decisions, investments and pathways to development. Shettima stated this in Abuja at the commemoration of the 2024 World Population Day with the theme "To Leave No One Behind, Count everyone. Here's the report.
Shatima also disclosed that a presidential initiative for youth enterprise clusters worth 110 billion naira was in the offing.
Data is life. Data is our evidence. Data is our performance. It is the most realistic picture of situations, trends, and patterns. It tells us how many we are, with an understanding of the age structure, sex structure, location, and more. Data is a true story of our experiences and inform us about today and the future through scientific projections, focusing, and analysis.
The Minister of Youth Development, Jamila Biu Ibrahim, urged partners at the event to leverage scientific evidence to resolve the myriads of challenges confronting the various segments of the world's population.
On behalf of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, a ministry that is tasked with the responsibility to formulate, with a mandate to formulate policies and implement projects, initiatives of government, and track and monitor all youth programs and initiatives that ensure a holistic socio-economic well-being and development of young people across the country.
For the chairman of the National Population Commission, Nasir Kwara, the important role of periodic census in generating administrative data for inclusive planning and sustainable development cannot be overemphasized.
We acknowledge very well the importance of conducting periodic national census as the most veritable source of generating an inclusive data for inclusive planning and a guiding path for sustainable development. Almost 2 decades, that's precisely 18 years ago, was when Nigeria conducted its last census.
The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for renewed commitment and investment to turn the International Conference on Population and Development Program of Action Promises into reality. Represented by Director of the UN Information Center for Nigeria, Ronald Kenyaja, Guterres stressed the critical role of women's sexual and reproductive health and rights in sustainable development.
Well into the 21st century, around 800 women die needlessly every day in pregnancy and childbirth, the vast majority in developing countries. And in some places, legislative advances in tackling vital issues such as female genital mutilation risk going into reverse.
He noted progress made since the program's adoption, including increased access to modern contraception and a 34% reduction in maternal deaths since the year 2000.
Over in Imo State, youths have called for initiatives that will build their capacities and offer opportunities to lead decent lives. The call is premised on the belief that if given the right environment and support, youth unemployment will be reduced, leading to a safer nation for all. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise tells us more.
According to many of the youths who spoke to Trust TV News, the current condition of most youths in the state leaves much to be desired, hence the need for intervention.
I don't think the youth have been given the necessary support, especially from the government, because from the look of things, you do not need to be told if you're from Imo or you're schooling here in Imo State, the way things are.
I'm actually not happy with the situation of our country. There's a lot of unemployment. Youths are graduating from school. Help them to actually have employment. They're not actually being employed. Government should provide more employment opportunities, create more jobs, and also they can also offer loan to youths who actually want to use the money to create jobs.
As a direct response to these calls, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has created a Ministry of Youth Development aimed at empowering the youths and addressing their developmental needs. The new ministry is expected to oversee initiatives and programs aimed at enhancing youth empowerment, skills development, and employment opportunities.
We have a whole lot of companies in Nigeria and outside Nigeria that are just looking for people who know how to do some practical things. Practical, not theoretical. Now, those of our youths who are not into the university setting or the tertiary setting, we're going to use these technical schools, these technical hubs to teach them these practical handworks that we are sure that will make them earn a living.
The youths are hopeful that the ministry will live up to expectation by addressing challenges facing youths in the state.
There should be better platforms for the youths to thrive, for the youth to do better, because trust me, we have youths with good skills, youths with brains.
The youth can succeed in the good enabling environment whereby the governor and distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, he has brought us a commissioner for youth development, which the young guy, Dr. Mandela, he has put everything in order to make sure the youth are doing what they're supposed to do in the environment.
Further inquiries revealed that the ministry is meant to focus on creating enabling environments for youths to thrive, with a special emphasis on education, entrepreneurship, and innovation. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
We move to business. The World Bank has revealed that Nigeria's public expenditure on education and health is inadequate by any standard. The newly released report titled Human Capital Public Expenditure and Institutional Review noted that the overall public spending at merely 12% of gross domestic product falls short of the threshold necessary to underwrite fundamental public services. The World Bank said the spending on health and education is low mainly because of the overall level of public spending, which is constrained by the very low overall revenue. It said as a share of the budget, allocations to education and health were 10.1% and 6.6% of overall spending for federal and state governments. In 2021, respectively, it recommended that in the medium to long term, increasing state budget execution rates and increasing federal as well as state allocations will be key to ensuring that health and education services are adequately financed. Away from Nigeria and Kenya, youth on Friday dismissed President William Ruto's decision to sack most of his cabinet, with some warning that they would resume street protests unless he steps down. And finally in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) is set to declare the position of the Flying Eagles head coach vacant. According to report, the position will soon be advertised for interested coaches to apply. Handler of the side, Ladan Boso, was heavily criticized following the Flying Eagles' poor showing at the 2024 African Games in Ghana. The team failed to make it beyond the group stage at the Games. Boso guided the Flying Eagles to the quarterfinal of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Argentina last year. The Flying Eagles are expected to take part in the qualifiers for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. That's it for news updates at this hour. For more of our news programs and documentaries, please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us.